Welcome, everyone. This is Recovery Dharma. My name is Julia, and I will be the facilitator this evening. John is normally our Monday night facilitator, but his job hours shifted, so he's no longer able to facilitate this practice, and he's going to facilitate Thursday mornings, probably sometime next month. And so for now, y'all are stuck with me. So, today, to begin our practice, I would like to set an intention for our practice. When we set an intention, what we're doing is we are enacting and really bringing to a conscious level, why are we here? And some of us might be here because we're court ordered to be here. We have to be here as part of our inpatient or outpatient treatment. We're here because a loved one dragged us here. Some of us are here because we really want to be here and we're excited about being here. There's all kinds of reasons for being here. And so we set an intention to look deeply at something that can support us through this practice, no matter why you are here or why you think you're here. So with that, let's read one. So I write all of these little sentiments of metta. Metta means loving kindness. And this one was painted by our wonderful Sangha member Lynn, who is here this evening. She sent me a handmade card, and then I promptly chopped it up in a million little pieces, and I wrote sentiments of loving kindness on the back. This one reads, this is a hard one, so relax your butt cheeks because this is a hard one. Ready? This one reads, may you choose it all. May you choose it all. For our practice this evening, friends, we are going to talk about mindfulness. Mindfulness is the theme for the month of January. Mindfulness in Pali is the word sati, S-A-T-I, sati. To be mindful is simply to come into the present moment, exactly as you are, exactly as the present moment is. No resistance, just lots of space to allow yourself to be exactly as you are. With that element of mindfulness, take notice of your body. And your body may be feeling a little worn down. You know, the journey of recovery is an arduous one. It's very stressful. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pain to recovering. There's a lot of healing. There's even boredom and bewilderment and confusion. There's also joy, and all of that is carried in the body. So maybe your body wants to lie down, and please do. Maybe your body feels a little agitated and stirred up, and it's difficult for you to sit still. There is absolutely nothing wrong with getting up and moving around. If you're online, just turn your camera off, if at all possible. Breathe, friends, breathe. Today, we're going to take a mindful dance and a little wander along something in Buddhism called the Noble Eightfold Path. And one of the things that I love about this idea of a fold, the eightfold path, and why I refer to it as a dance, is when we're dancing, the steps of a dance are often forward and backward and sideways. We twirl around. We leap in the air. There are so many different steps to the dance, and likewise, there are many different ways to step on the Noble Eightfold Path. And in fact, you're encouraged to do it all. Choose all the steps. This path is not linear. We're not militantly marching toward sobriety. We are dancing with our wisdom, and our wisdom is a loving companion, a patient dance partner, a safe place to be. One of the aspects of the Noble Eightfold Path is mindfulness. So today we're going to bring our attention to wise understanding, the bedrock of the Noble Eightfold Path. You don't have to understand everything, but you do have to understand something. And that little something is like the pilot light in your gas heater. It's the little spark, it's the little ember that keeps you going. If we apply it to the journey of recovery, we know that we turn to maladaptive things to cope with the pain of life. But what is that pain? Can we understand it? Can we put a shy light on it? Can we get gently curious about it? Can we understand this deep-seated courage within each of us that says, when things get uncomfortable and rough, I can be with it. I don't have to run away. I don't have to numb away. I can do hard things. The second aspect of the Noble Eightfold Path is wise intention. What is your intention to recover your true self? What do you want to do when you find it, as you continue to find it? How are you going to treat that aspect of you that abused substances? That person is you too, lives in you. Maybe we can adopt an intention to make sure that we're compassionate and caring for those aspects of ourselves that we might feel ashamed of, we might regret. But rather than try to get rid of pieces of ourselves, let's fold them in. Let's choose that former me. That was me, and I was struggling. And I can offer that former me some compassion. This takes a great deal of wise action. We have to be willing to try new things, even if it feels uneasy and awkward, even if we're nervous. And this takes wise effort. Did you know that coming to a recovery meeting is an extraordinary effort? Did you know that more than 90% of people with a diagnosed alcohol use disorder don't even bother coming to meetings, seeking treatment? Even when all signs in their lives are showing them they are blinking red lights, this is a problem. They will self-report, I don't have a problem, I can do this on my own. And they miss out on so much. You have taken on the effort to be here today, and we benefit from it. Another aspect of the Noble Eightfold Path is wise speech. In the United States of America, we feel entitled to say whatever we want, whenever we want. It is our right, free speech. In Buddhism, we bow to freedom of speech, but we pass it through 3 gates before we ever utter a word. The 3 gates of wise speech are these. Is what I'm about to say true? To the best of your ability, is it true? Not an opinion, not a notion, not some spewing, something true. The 2nd gate, is it kind? Ooh, yeah. That's where a lot of us have to pause. Is what you're about to say kind? If it isn't, don't say it. It's not hard, except that it is sometimes. 3rd gate of wise speech. Is it helpful? Is what you're about to say going to be of benefit? There's a story about the Buddha when he was teaching a sutra on wise speech. And what he was saying was the 3rd gate, is it helpful, is the most important. Because what you can say is true and what you can say is kind. You can say it in a kind way. But if it's not going to be of benefit, then reconsider what you're saying. Because the harm that you unintentionally could create plants a karmic seed that you are going to have to deal with someday. And so this is just something to pay attention to. Karma is action. When you do something, there is an action, there is a consequence associated with it, good and bad and neutral. So if you can be real about that, if you can stand before that, then by all means say what's ever on your mind. Just know that there will be some karma to address. If we are here to recover our true selves, then our true selves are really wise and discerning. And so we take care to make sure that what we're saying is true, what we're saying is kind, and what we're saying is going to be of benefit, will elevate us all. The next aspect of the Noble Eightfold Path is your livelihood, wise livelihood. These practices will change your life. And it's not just about changing your relationship to habit energy. It's about changing your relationship to yourself, to everything. This is such a noble, self-respecting thing. Each and every one of you being here today is showing extraordinary courage, amazing self-regard, and tender, tender love. I mentioned wise mindfulness, and then the final fold, what wraps this all up on this dance? Concentration. You have to concentrate to dance. You have to concentrate to practice. It doesn't always have to be laser focused, like everything else in the room disappears. It's just a degree of concentration. Any amount of concentration counts. Sitting through this meditation counts, matters. Take it in, friends. Everyone here is an extraordinary human being. A constellation of wonder, worth getting to know, worth understanding. Every single person here is a wonderful curiosity, making good efforts, making questionable efforts, making neutral efforts and actions, being superhuman. Come into this moment and relax. You're here. You're okay. It's good. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment. This is a wonderful moment. So I want to share with you, we're going to do a dedication of merit. One of the things in Buddhism is anytime you come into the presence of the three jewels, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. The Buddha is the person 25 plus 100 years ago whose legend is that he was able to really understand the causes and conditions of his own suffering, and by extension, the suffering of the world. He spent 40 years of his life teaching what he observed and what he considered, all of his perspectives, and they are known as the Dharma. And then he shared the Dharma with the community, the Sangha, wise friends who were willing to practice with him. And one of the reasons why it's so beneficial is because any benefit that we experience for ourselves, one of the most simple and meritorious acts is to share it, to bring it out into the world. And energetically speaking, coming into a practice and meditating and allowing your nervous system to regulate, allowing your body to calm down, allowing the breath to clear any noise or chatter in the mind, creates a presence within you that is really healing. And so if you bring that out into the world, people are going to pick up on that energy and feel better, and they're not even going to know why. Such a small, simple act that we can all do. So we take a moment after every meeting to dedicate that effort to ourselves for coming here and then out into the world. Today's dedication I would like to bring to all of our friends and family who have gone ahead in death. This intention that I shared with you today, may you choose it all, comes from a very dear friend of mine, Cami, whose daughter died when she was 6 years old. And we were at a fundraiser for children, and we had been in grief groups before. And one of the things Cami said about her daughter, and just living through the grief of stewarding a daughter to her death. She had a very complicated medical history, and bearing witness to the reality of that. She said, and I'll never forget it as long as I live, and now you'll never forget it either. She said to me, Julia, I choose it all. And in that moment, my life changed, and something in me shifted. To choose it all, including the death of your child. What an extraordinary bodhisattva. What an extraordinary wise teacher and guide, and someone I am so honored to call my friend. It takes so much courage to choose it all, and you all have that courage. May you continue to walk this journey with gentleness and ease. May you have the courage to even step off the path and choose it. See where it takes you. Know when you stumble. Know you have the agency to get right back up again. Wander around, and maybe you'll twirl your way back to a path with brighter light. May you find your breath. May you find your heart. May both be filled with joy and clarity. May the beauty of your presence ripple into the world, so desperate for healing, light, wonder, and hope. May you be that beacon for it all. Thank you for your beautiful practice, friends. We'll see you tomorrow. Namaste.